Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video here to give you guys my initial impressions of CyberPunk 2077, which I've seen in the comment section. Some people hit me up on Twitter that they did want this video, since obviously I talk up Witcher 3 quite a bit. CDPR, the guys that made CyberPunk 2077, I'm a little late on it, but I wanted to get around 20 hours in before I made a video like this, and this is just my initial impressions. I have quite a bit to do in the main storyline as well as side content. I actually had a buddy beat the main storyline because he bum rushed it in 10 hours, which I thought was hilarious. But obviously, I'm sure you guys have read the news. It's in the headlines everywhere. Everybody is down on this game. I am too. We'll get into that in a second, but let me preface it by saying PlayStation 4, Xbox One versions are atrocities, and if you're playing them on those consoles, you're just gonna hate the game automatically on the basis of the game performing like absolute dog crap. However, people on those platforms did get refunds, so obviously that game probably should not have been released on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. I get why they did it, because there's over 100 million people with those consoles. Not everybody can get a PS5, a Series, or whatever, but when a game is running that terribly, it really should not have been released on those consoles at all. Either indefinitely delay them if they could get the performance up, or cancel them altogether. If you actually just assess the hardware that's in the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, might have been okay in 2013, but in 2020, it is an atrocity, and honestly, it's probably a good idea that we move on from those consoles sooner rather than later once people can get their hands on PlayStation 5s. I know not everybody can afford next-gen consoles or a high-end PC, but yeah, the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One at this stage of the game, I just don't think that they're going to vibe that well with, modern titles, and if we really want to push the envelope forward. Nonetheless, I played the game on a pretty high-end PC, RTX 3080, all that good stuff. I played at 1440p. Majority of the time I had ray tracing off so I could get, around 100 frames per second. I wanted to play the game around that. And, obviously, let's talk about bugs, glitches, and everything like that. I had a litany of them. I mean, even like the first 90 minutes of the game, I had a few jarring bugs. Like, we're talking about people just walking right through cars, animations just popping up out of nowhere, and things of that nature. I mean, Witcher 3, if you go back and if you remember playing that game in 2015 around launch, that game had a couple of bugs, but it was nowhere near as bad as CyberPunk 2077 is. I have not had like frame rate dips or anything like that, but definitely have had some jarring bugs that, if we're talking about the immersion level of a game, completely breaking your immersion level if that's something that you want to be in. And obviously, I think Cyberpunk 2077 is supposed to be a very immersive RPG. Really put a highlight on that word RPG, because I think that's where a lot of people have their criticism from. And yeah, so there's a lot of decision making in the game and things of that nature. Even at first, when you pick your paths and everything like that, the game just doesn't seem to actually be an RPG that has like a variety of you customizing and you actually going on the pathway that you want to be and really playing this game in a set way, or even everybody having a different playthrough or something like that. The customizability with the characters, I mean, yeah, like donger customizations, I guess people are super into that. But that's only going to take you so far with your $59.99 and 9 years of hype. That's not going to cut it as far as actually being an overall compelling RPG. Now, there are elements of the game that I like. The visuals are really great. Night City's a nice city. However, if you're super into the gameplay trailers and things like that, yeah, you're going to be a little bit disappointed on the level that Night City might not be at the level of what those trailers were showcasing. But all in all, the open world, I think, is relatively good. The voice acting is solid, and so far, the narrative has been rather strong. I like the characters. It's just, the game to me, I think this is the real issue with it. It's just not anything special. It is just, I hate to say it, almost mediocre in a lot of areas, maybe every area. Even if you take out a lot of things like the bugs, glitches, and things like that, fundamentally assessing the game as it is, so far, playing quite a bit of the main story, playing side missions here and there, it's just a lot of nothing special to me. And that's not inherently something that a game should be ridiculed for. Like, if this was any other RPG, if people were not expecting this game to, like, cure COVID or, bring their girlfriends back to them or something like that, the game would probably be like, okay, it's a decent little title that I can pick up on a discount or something like that, but it is CD Projekt Red. It is 9 years of build-up. It is the gameplay we saw at E3 and all of those events, and it just had a crazy build-up, and I knew the moment that, I want to say after the second delay, that's when I really started to realize no matter how good this game is, people are going to be disappointed. And the problem is people's expectation was so high that the disparity between expectation level and what the game actually was so gigantic, so colossal, that it is going to heighten the reaction of the game even more to a level where people are completely crapping on the game, and maybe that is the way to go. Maybe completely saying this game is the worst thing you've ever played. If that's what gets you off, go for it. But I talked about it after the first or second delay. My anticipation level with CyberPunk 2077 was waning. When you have 3 delays in a singular year, I'm sorry, something's up and there's gonna be some issues and some shortcomings with the game. And not only that, shortcomings, issues, maybe that was from the standpoint of, oh, the game being very buggy, which it is. But I also don't find the game to be anything special, man. I just think it's another game, and maybe some of you guys, and I definitely want to hear from you, are you compelled by the content in the game? Really just assess the content, even stripping away the bugs and the glitches, because ultimately you do have time to fix the bugs and glitches. Maybe that's the wrong way of even phrasing it, but in 6 to 9 months, you would hope that CDPR is going to be committed to this game and the bugs and glitches are going to be ironed out. But even after that, is this game truly going to be anything special? I don't think so. Maybe my opinion will change after I complete the game, do more of the side quests, and, you know, if they do completely update the game and I have that immersive experience, maybe it will be this amazing game. But at this point, at a fundamental level, I don't even enjoy, not necessarily saying enjoy, I don't think the content is that special. Like, to me, gameplay just there. A lot of the customization just there. It doesn't really do anything for me, and it's not that, like, next step, that next level gaming experience that I think a lot of people were expecting. However, for me, I'm just not that disappointed by it on the level of some of these other people, just because, again, my expectation was waning with this game. And just seeing what some of the people were hyping it up to be, I kind of just fell off that train. I was just like, okay, guys, you're out of your mind if you think this game is going to be one of those games that truly transform gaming as an entertainment medium. Like, I just thought people were going way too far. The countdown clocks, the countdown posts, everything like that. I was just like, yeah, is it even possible for this game to not be disappointing? And again, I think that disparity level between the crazy expectations and then the game being a 5 out of 10, being a 6 out of 10, not being the 91 that it was on Metacritic for a little bit, yeah, I think that played into a part of people being so upset with the game. And obviously, let me reiterate, PlayStation 4, Xbox One versions of the games, based on the clips I've seen, complete atrocities. Those should not have been released, but thankfully you did get refunds for that, and if you didn't, probably should hit up CDPR or whatever you have to do to get a refund. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. I feel like I was able to go over that pretty well. I know that I still got more of the game to play, but right now, I think the best way to put it is this game has just not compelled me to be thinking of it as anything special. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.